Mm, Thank you very much. Think about the things that you have the most gratitude for. I'm not talking about saying I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my thrive. Dig deep. Why are you grateful for those things? When you start showing true gratitude for the things you have, that is when you will start receiving more. Um, Team news, company news, elites here. We're going to do the Elite Ultimate Thriver. I'm extremely excited. There's so many good things going on that I can't even remember at this point in time, and I do apologize. I'm so busy lately. I have not been able to catch up, and I'm trying to stay consistent. So I cannot give you all the good company and team news, but that's okay because I don't want to pull away from the fire that our wonderful host is going to give us today. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce Lindsey. Lindsey, take it away, sweetheart.
Hey, all right. Hi guys, happy Friday. Um, so you wanted me to talk about restarting, right? I think that was the topic that you guys had for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, I'm just gonna do a little bit of a background of my story, just a quick background, and talk about that restarting process because I have not always been a 200K millionaire with this company, right? Like we all don't hit that button and boom, it happens. Well, I found Lavelle December of 2017, so 5 years ago. And in the last 5 years, I have had, this is sales, right? We all have ups and downs and all the fun little motions that come with sales. But I found this company in 2017. I hit the ground running hard. I went VIP 1600 in 2 days, 4K in 3 days, 12K in 11 days. First month I was 40K, second month I was an 80K. And I kind of sat at that 80K and I was like, well, what the heck is going on? Why am I not hitting 200K? I went so fast, right? Like, how come this isn't something that is, I should be a 200K 3 months? Like I did 80K in 2 months, 3 months. Yeah. Walk in the park. No. And here's the reason why. Because when you go really fast, you also are able to fall really hard. And that fall for me was exactly what I needed. And I didn't know that I needed it, right? Nobody wants to fall. Nobody builds a business and is like, you know what, this is a good time for me to fall on my face. Like, no, nobody does that. It's not something that is common that somebody would ever wish for. And so when it happened, I was kind of like, okay, now what? So I had built from 2017 all the way through the end of 2018, so about a year. And from the end of December 2017 to December 2018, so exactly a year, right? And I had been building and I had been running and I had been doing all the things that I told myself I was doing, except for I realized that it was busy work. And so in 2019, when my business, I was an 80K leader who was barely earning an auto bonus, right? There was a month that I didn't even hit my auto bonus. I was kind of like, what the heck is going on? Like, I know what I'm doing, right? I went so quick. I hit 80K in 60 days. Like, why is this happening? Like, my team's not working. The product isn't working. The company just isn't for me. And then I finally got over my own bullshit and was like, well, it's not the company, it's not the product, it's not my team, it was me. And it was the fact that my work ethic did not match where I was or where I wanted to go. And that for me is always the biggest thing, is that work ethic. And I hear all the time from people, especially when bonuses are launched or a new year or a new month, I'm going 4K this month, I'm earning a 4K bonus, or I'm doing this month, or whatever it is, right? And for me, talk is cheap. And the reason I say that is because I had to learn that from myself. I had to look myself in the mirror and I had to call myself out on my own bullshit and just be like, talk is cheap, Linz. Like, stop saying that you should be a 200K. If you should be a 200K, you would be a 200K. If your work ethic matched up to 200K and your enrollments matched up to 200K, you would be a 200K, right? If there are bonuses happening and you're like, I should earn that, like I do the work, if you did the work that equaled that, then you would earn it, because the beauty of this company is we're a volume to dollar based company, and what you put in and what you enroll, you see on your trackers. And so I kind of had to get really real with myself and call myself out on that work ethic part of that busy work. And a lot of times people will come to me and they're like, I'm doing all the things. And if you've ever said I'm doing all the things, or you've heard I'm doing all the things, you can relate. And for me, it's a lot of, are you really doing all the things, or are you doing busy work? So the first part for me for restarting was calling myself out on my past work ethic and what I wanted to change. And the fact that my work ethic did not match where I wanted to go and what I wanted this business to do for my family. And so when I started to realize that, a lot started to change for me. I started to treat this like a business as opposed to a hobby. And there's a lot of things that you can do with this business, but treating it like a hobby is not going to get you that financial stability, that if that is something that you're looking for. If you're just looking to thrive for free, treating this like a hobby is all for you, and I'm all for it. And I tell my team all the time that you have to have your own goals, and part of restarting is you have to know what those goals are. And if your goal is you want to thrive for free, then stop telling your enroller you want to be a 4K. If your goal is you want to be a 4K, then stop telling your enroller that you're excited and all you want to do is thrive for free, right? You need to tell your enroller and your leaders and link arms with them and do the work to hit that 4K, not just to thrive for free. So the beauty of restarting is you can restart anytime. Any single day can be day one, any day. You can pick today, you can pick tomorrow, you can pick whenever you want and just say, you know what, today's my day one, I'm doing it different. And the beauty of what we do is you truly can do it different, and you truly can restart and do things a different way. For me, I do everything on social media. If you don't follow me, my Instagram is Lindsey Coggin, and I built that Instagram. I hit 200K in March of 2020, right as the pandemic hit. The world was shutting down, and that came from a year of regrowth. In 2019, when I was getting ready to literally walk away from my business, right? Because the business didn't work, the products didn't work, my team wasn't working. So I needed to go somewhere else because that was going to make a difference. Until I realized that it really wouldn't make a difference, because I took me wherever I went. And if I wasn't willing to change with a product that I loved and that I knew worked, with a comp plan that I knew was amazing, where was I going to go to find success? Because I was the issue, not the product and not the comp plan. So in 2019, I decided to restart. I dug in deep and I started doing IPAs. I still to this day, 3 years later, do the same exact IPAs that I did in 2019. And that's the thing of this business is it's consistency in the basics. So I want you to ask yourself, or a lot of y'all don't have your video on, so I can't see a lot of y'all faces, which is new to me. And normally when I'm on Zooms, I see everyone. But for me, I love to ask you guys, like, what is one thing that you know that you do for, oh, look, videos are turning on. Hey guys. One thing that you do for your business, one thing that you do for Thrive. What is one thing that you do? Ask yourself. And I truly want you to ask yourself in a day what you do for your Thrive business, because you're going to realize that you might not be doing what you are telling yourself that you are. Meaning you might say, I'm doing a lot for my business. And then you write down all the things that you've been doing. And you're like, oh, well, I put my capsules in my stories. Oh, okay. So I really didn't work my business today. Oh, I followed up with 2 people. Oh, okay. That's all I did. So when you start to really call your own self out, it does a lot more good for you than having a leader call you out. Okay. Because here's the thing, and my team knows this about me, is I don't micromanage. I don't micromanage anyone. I am two people's mamas, and that is it, right? And they came from me, and that is it. Those are the only two humans, and my husband every now and then. But if you know him, then you know he's not very micromanageable. So we don't. The only two people I micromanage are the ones that came from me. All right. So my team knows I'm not going to micromanage them. That if they want this, they have to do this for themselves. Because if I say, oh, you know what? You didn't work today. You didn't show up on your social media. All you did was put some capsies in your stories and call it a day and make a reel. Then they might come and say, well, you don't know what I did. You don't know what I did behind the scenes. And then it's one of those where it's like, how can you say I'm not working? So I will never tell somebody that they're not showing up. But what I will say is, tell me your IPAs. So what I want you guys to do now, or I know some of y'all are at work or driving or whatever you're doing, is some point today, I want you to write out your IPAs, and I will gladly give you guys my IPAs. I will read them to you from my morning chat every single morning. If I can find it on Telegram. There's a lot of freaking chats on Telegram. Okay. My IPAs are self-development, products on my stories, interactions, 3-2-1s, growing my network, posting a reel, making a post, sharing to my stories, wishing happy birthdays, and then I am and gratitudes. And here's the thing with that list, and I've talked about this a lot, is a lot of those are one and dones. What is a one and done? Meaning you post your products to your stories. Well, you're then not in an hour going to go repost your capsules to your stories. So that is one time and done. You wish someone a happy birthday. Well, you're not then 3 hours later going to go and say, oh, it's me again. Happy birthday. Like, no, it's a happy birthday, one and done. So a lot of those one and dones, you look at that list and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so much work. That's so much to do. But really, when you look at that list, how many of those things are one and dones, but you create them into busy work and you turn them into scrolling. So for me, I have a love-hate relationship with social media, right? It's how I run my entire business. The only local that I have really ever gone to, my water broke in July and I had to leave to go give birth. So I have never actually been to an actual local. I've never done one. I've never done anything like that. So for me, social media is how I grow my business. And if you follow me now, then you know I have quite a few followers, but the thing is, most of them are thrivers. So those aren't my potentials. Y'all aren't my potentials, right? I'm not going to go and enroll you guys. That's non-compliant and not a thing. So when you look at my following, you see, oh, it's easy for her, right? She has a lot of following. Okay, but a lot of that is thrivers. It ain't so easy with no one's potentials, okay? So you have to remember that you see people's numbers and you say, oh, that's why they're successful. I hit 200K with less than 300 followers on Instagram, and that's coming from somebody who builds 1000% on social media. Okay. So don't always compare yourself at all. Don't ever compare yourself because you don't know what somebody did behind the scenes. But two, don't ever look at somebody's social media and say, oh, well, that's why they have so many enrollments. Look at how many followers they have. No, you have to build it regardless. And that comes from consistency, but that comes from the intention behind that consistency when you restart. I don't message anybody. I do not believe in reach outs. I don't believe in cold messaging. I have never sent a message first. Well, I guess that's a lie. The only time I've ever sent a message first is if they comment on one of my call to actions in my story. If it's a poll, then I'll say, hey, I saw that you, go lay down for. I saw that you clicked my poll. Let me know if you're interested. But I don't message anybody asking them if they want to thrive. I don't message anyone asking them if they want to sample. I do everything through my stories, through my reels, through my posts, being intentional and doing my IPAs every single day. So first step in restarting, calling yourself out, right? Knowing what you want to restart doing and finding those goals. Because if you say that you want to be a 200K one day, but you aren't a 4K right now, and you're working towards 200K, that's going to be very discouraging when you end the month and you're not at 200K. You have to remember, okay, my end result. Okay, I want to be a 200K. Great. What are your baby steps to get there? VIPs. Okay, when you're not in your VIP period, who cares? We have a roadmap that our company literally gives us. And for me and my team, I tell them every 14 days is a new 14 days. In that first 14 days, what was your goal? To hit your VIPs, right? You wanted to enroll 2 promoters, 2 customers, and then go and do it again to hit the next VIP. Well, now we have VIP 400. So 1 promoter, 1 customer. Okay, go do it again. 1 promoter, 1 customer. Okay, go do it again. 1 promoter, 1 customer. Okay, go do it again. Do you see how every 14 days, regardless if there is a fun, shiny bonus at the end of it, if you work it like you're in your first 14 days, before you know it, you've done in a 30-day period, VIP 1600 twice, which if you're doing it and then you're duplicating that down to the promoters that you enrolled, they're doing it, that's more than your 4K, right? So you have to remember that it's not that on day 15 of you being a promoter, anything changes. It's that day 15 is day 1 all over again. Get that excitement back and go back into doing every 14 days is a new 14 days. And that for me is something I have stood by since 2019 when I restarted my business, and still to this day as a millionaire with this company, I say every 14 days is a new 14 days. And that's what I continue to do. I get asked all the time, how do you earn bonuses? How do you earn trips? How do you constantly earn promotions and stuff like that? And here's the thing. I actually, during the last bonus season, I call them seasons, I don't know what y'all call them, but the last bonus season, got a lot of messages of people saying, are you discounting like your promoter packs? What are you doing? No, I'm not are you kidding? We have our hands on gold. Have I done 400 for 200? Sure. When it's a double or triple fast start, but am I just giving away a promoter pack and products just to fill a tracker? Hell no, y'all. Like, no. And here's the thing. When you start somebody out on a discount, they discount our products. They devalue what they have their hands on. They will say, okay, well, I got this discount. So like, how is the next person supposed to join me without a discount? Yo, I didn't join on a discount and I know the worth of this company and these products. So stop always looking for a promotion or a discount and hold value. I have this conversation with a lot of people when they are asking me to restart, is they always say, hey, what did you do? Like, what was like your game plan? Every 14 days is a new 14 days, and stop being the dang dollar section of Target. Stop thinking that you got to be for everybody, because you won't be. But the beauty of what we have our hands on is it is for anybody. So will everybody want to do it? No. Can anybody do it? Absolutely. And that's the beauty of being a vitamin-based product, right? That is for every single lifestyle and anybody can do it. But you have to also remember that the more consistent you are in showing up, the more people are going to get into your inbox, or they're going to ask you questions. And if you notice that people aren't asking you, well, go and look at your page. Are you a spam bot? Go and look at your page. What was the last thing you shared in your stories? Right now, it is 10 a.m. Eastern. And here's the thing. You have to remember that the last 24 hours of your stories on social media are still up. So from yesterday at 10:20 a.m. Eastern till today at 10:20 a.m. Eastern is up. If you look at your stories right now on your Instagram and you don't have anything about your products, anything about the opportunity, anything about Thrive, you're not talking in your story, you're not sharing your life. Was your story even open yesterday? Like, you have to ask yourself these things. So saying that you want to restart and actually restarting are 2 different things. And I'm a very red leader. So if I offend anybody, I apologize, but it's just me. And I offend 15 people anytime I walk in a room, and it is what it is. It's just me as a human. And my thing is with that is, you have to remember that you are your storefront. You are your brand. Lavelle is a multi-billion-dollar company. They know how to market. They know how to get Thrive out there. They don't need us to plaster an email all over social media. What they need us to do, well, they really don't need us because this product could sell itself, let's be real. So I'm just thankful that they want us, right? But what they need us to do in order to grow is share our personal testimony. But so many of y'all are so stuck on just sharing what the company shares that you aren't actually sharing your side of it. So for me, I am 5 months postpartum right now, and I've been sharing my postpartum journey. But for the last 5 years, I haven't always been postpartum journey, right? At first, I was using it for the energy. I was single Liz living in a 1-bedroom apartment, hoeing it up all over Florida in the bars, on the beach, and my bikini on my Jeep. Like I was living my best life. All right. Then I found a new best life with my husband, and we were pregnant with Rylan, and then pregnant with Paxton, and everything in between. So you have to remember that your life is going to continue to change. And that's the beauty of having a vitamin-based product, is that the vitamins will always grow with you and you won't outgrow your products. Your lifestyle will never outchase what your products can do, because our products can do everything. So when you're restarting, it's sharing where you're at right now, and also sharing that day one. For me, I still share, because it's really easy to see my life today and say, oh, wow, well, she never had to struggle. Like, look at her life. She never, and I hear that all the time. It had to be so easy. And I just kind of scratch my head and I'm like, okay, like, sure. Because here's the thing. If you don't share day one, how are you ever supposed to show your actual glow up? And for me, I will never, ever, ever stop sharing my 1-bedroom apartment with my Great Dane Xander, drowning in over $100,000 worth of debt, to today, completely debt-free, dream home. We own, this is our 3rd home. Like, y'all, life changes, and you can make that one decision and your life can change in the matter of a year. The matter of a year, I changed everything. From 2019, February of 2019, I made the decision to restart. By the time my son was born, we found out I was pregnant in that February of 2019. By the time Rylan was born, I literally earned a multi-6-figure bonus while I was in labor with him, pushing him out. So when I tell you that you can, now 10-10 do not recommend running for a bonus while in labor and pushing, but you know, you do what you got to do, right? But for me, that was what, an 8 months, because I was a month pregnant at that time. And 8 months, I completely changed the trajectory of my entire family's life for generations to come. But the kicker in that is I never stopped. Yes, I earned that bonus. Yes, I rebuilt back my business, but I never got comfortable. I still am my #1 runner on my team. And a lot of times people are so worried about when they're restarting, I got to find a runner. I got to find somebody who wants to do this with me. I got to do this. I got to do that. But are you a runner? Are you your biggest enroller on your downline? If you're not, why are you complaining about your downline not working? My thing is, I'll never complain about something that I can control. If I want more volume, go enroll more volume. If I feel like my volume is low for the month, then I look at myself and I say, go fucking enroll. Like, what are you doing? Like, nobody should be bringing in your volume for you. And my goal every single month is to end at 12K in personal volume. And we don't order Thrive for ourselves every single month, because my husband and I do like the $800 packs whenever we run out, just to keep our products on hand so I can use my free product credits for leveraging. But that's my goal in customer orders between my husband and I, to have over 12,000 every single month. So I know I'm at least hitting that second ring for those auto bonuses, because in 2019, I didn't earn my auto bonus as an 80K. And I told myself that that would never happen again, and I would be in control of that. So do you see how so much can change? That was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I made a decision to restart, and I am 5 years into this company. You have to ask yourself, why are you restarting? What do you do daily for your business? And is it busy work versus that income producing activities? And how can you add your Thrive routine into your real life? And this is always something that I suggest when I talk about restarting, is a lot of times people have their life and then they have what they need to do for Thrive, right? And it's 2 different planners, 2 different brain tabs, right? 2 different everythings. The quicker I learned to be one, that my personal life and my Thrive life needed to just commingle. They needed to coexist. They needed to be on one planner, was when my life stopped being so overwhelming, and I learned that planning my business around my life was exactly what I needed. I know that every single Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I leave my team's Zoom. So every single Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, my husband knows we can't do anything. Well, one, we have a newborn, so we're not doing anything anyways, but he knows we're home. We are home by that time because I have a Zoom to lead. We know that the work with me is that I lead for the month for my team. We do my team has 7 days a week work with me that are optional. You never, and here's another thing for y'all when restarting, stop trying to be on every single Zoom. You didn't get in this to be on a Zoom 7 days a week. So what I tell my team, because we do have options for Zooms every single day of the week, is pick which ones you want to go on, and the rest of them don't write them down, because you didn't join this business to be glued to your phone on a Zoom every single day. And if you're glued to your phone on a Zoom every single day, when are you working your business? Because this right here, as much as this might help you, this isn't working your business. Working your business is what you're going to do once you log off of this. So ask yourself, how many Zooms are you getting on? But then another question to ask yourself on that same thing is, how many Zooms have you been a part of? Because you have to stay close to the fire. I don't do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s. I do 3, 2, 1s. Personally, they're two different things. So I do 3, 2, 1. I saw in the chat the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't do those. I know that they are super, super helpful, but for me, I had to condense it to a 3, 2, 1 for my own brain. So that's what I do. Just for that question in there. But as much, there's two ends of that Zoom spectrum, is you can be on way too many, or you can never be showing up, and you have to stay close to that fire. So I tell my team, one, training, like actual training where somebody is doing tangible information for you to take for your business, and then at least one work with me a week, is that kind of that like sweet spot for growing. And power hour is the same as a work with me. I know somebody said something about a power hour. A power hour, I believe, is the same as a work with me. But it's just where you go over, and a leader kind of walks you through IPAs and how to do things. And if there is ones that aren't at a time that you can get on, then host your own. Host your own. Stop thinking that you have to be a 200K or an 80K or a 40K or any K in order to host a Zoom where you get on and you just work. It's that accountability aspect. I sat on many Zooms where it was just me talking to me, and I recorded it because nobody hopped on. Now, people ask me to do Zooms for them, and it's such a weird thing, right? Whenever someone's like, do you want to do a Zoom for me? I'm like, sure. Because there were years where I sat on a Zoom with just me, myself, and I, and did my training and recorded it for a team that I now have today. So you have to ask yourself, what are you afraid of hosting a Zoom? Or what are you afraid of showing up and staying close to the fire? Or what are you afraid of if you actually succeed in this? Because a really big thing for me when I restarted was I was afraid to succeed. And I know that sounds weird, right? And I've been made fun of for that statement so many freaking times, but I don't care. So at the end of the day, I was afraid to succeed. I was afraid to actually be good at this. Because what was I going to do once I was? What was I going to do once I was a big leader or a top leader? And then I was, at the end of the day, like even me right now, I'm not a top leader. I'm just Linz. So you have to remove that stigma around Zoom numbers. Yep. Someone just said, I'm afraid of low numbers attending. I'm afraid of being successful and losing insurance, like stuff like this. But here's the thing about that one, about losing insurance, because my mom had that same struggle, and now, not an income claim, but she doesn't need her insurance. She makes more, she does just fine. And if you're going to Miami, you'll meet my mama then, because she's coming with me to Miami. But y'all, you have to remember, like, the things that you're afraid of are the things you're going to outgrow. And that's the scary part. Low Zoom numbers, y'all, I sat on Zooms where it was just me. I've been on Zooms where 2 people showed up. That's it. And I'm not, don't mean this in a rude way at all, but that's an ego thing. And you have to drop it. You have to drop the pride, you have to drop the ego, and you have to realize that it doesn't matter if you have 2 people on a Zoom or 2,000 people on a Zoom. What does it matter? I would rather run with 2 people that actually want to do this with me than 2,000 that just sit and listen to my annoying ass voice talk and then don't do anything with it. Like for me, oh girl, I get that. Trust me, my mama, that was a huge part of that 6-figure debt that we paid down. So here's the thing. You can tell yourself that you don't want to be successful because you don't want to lose something. But the beauty of it is what you can create from this will far, far, far create much, much more than you would have ever gotten from that thing that you're afraid to lose. And I'm not telling anybody to drop anything or quit your job, because I will never tell somebody to quit a job either. I think that if you want to work a 9 to 5 and do this at the same time, the more money, the better, go for it. And I also tell people to not quit their 9 to 5s unless they have stability here and they are completely debt free. And that's like a huge thing for me. And that was a huge thing for my husband and I, of why we're both full-time thrivers. So that's coming from two people that this is what we do for a full-time living. So my thing is, oh yeah, I relate to that so much. My mom gets chemo every 5 weeks. She gets chemo injections and she has autoimmune disorders. And so when she started making, and that was a big, scary thing, Angela, for us. And let me tell you, Thrive changed everything when we stopped worrying about what happens when we're successful and just became fucking successful and use that to make more than anything that insurance ever covered for my mom. Let me tell you that. But again, I'm not telling anybody to drop anything or do anything. I'm just saying that the possibilities are endless when you bet on yourself and when you say, I'm going all in. Because when you decide that you want to go all in and you decide that you're going to go all in, wanting to go all in and going all in when you're restarting are two separate things. When you decide that you are going to go all in, everything changes. Everything changes because your mindset, you flip a script in your mindset and you start to show up differently. You notice that the noise of people saying things, it's quiet. You no longer hear it because you don't care. And for a while, I was getting drowned by the noise. And the second I stopped listening to other people, it got really quiet and it got really focused on what I wanted to do. I got in my own lane and I started running and I started working and I started succeeding. And the big, big, big thing for me is, and that's literally, Tara, what I was going to go into next, is the big, big thing for me was taking myself out of a race I never wanted to run in. Y'all, I don't compete against anybody. I don't care if there is a leaderboard and I'm not number one anymore. I used to have to be number one or I felt like my self-worth wasn't there. And that was nothing that the company put on me, nothing that my leaders put on me, nothing that anybody put on me except for myself, because I felt like I had to be number one. Now, I don't care. Jason said I was the first person to earn one of those bonuses the last season. And I was like, oh, had no idea, because at the end of the day, sorry, I lose my voice. At the end of the day, I don't do this to be the first person to earn something, because whether you earn when there's double and triple fast starts, when there's a trip, when there's a bonus, whether you earn it on day one or the very last day, you're going on the same trip as the person who earned it day one. You're earning the same bonus as the person who earned it day one. You're earning the same promo as the person who earned it day one. So at the end of the day, why are you so upset that somebody hit it day one, but you hit it day 30? It's the same trip. It's the same promo. It's the same bonus. What does it matter? But the thing is, you're getting so worked up watching other people hit it day 1, day 5, day 25, right? And you're like, I need to hit it now, that you're not actually putting in the work to allow yourself to hit it on day 30, because you're so laser focused on what other people are doing. So create your own lane and run in it. And I say put your blinders on, but I don't mean put your blinders on not like learning from other people or seeing what other people are doing. I say put your blinders on to not let it affect you from what you're doing. Because for me, when I say I'm running in my own lane and I'm head down running, I'm head down running, and I don't care if somebody is doing this or somebody is doing that. I know what I need to do, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's the consistency in my IPAs. It's the showing up. It's making sure I'm staying close to the fire. But more importantly, making sure that I am the fire for my business. Because at the end of the day, you can have a runner on your downline, but what does it matter if you also aren't a runner for your downline? I always say, I know as a leader, I can lead anybody in this business because I do the things that you need to do from day one. And you have to ask yourself, it doesn't matter if you've been here 9 years, 10 years, a month, a day. And if this is your first Zoom, hi, sorry, I hope I don't scare you. I can tend to be a little rough. So I hope I don't scare you, but hi, we're really nice people, and I'm not always this red. Well, kind of am, but I promise I have a nice side. But you have to remember that from day one, what you do day 791 matters just as much, and it's just as important. Every 14 days is a new 14 days. But if you quit on day 15 because you didn't hit your VIPs, well, then it doesn't matter, because you're never going to hit your VIPs. And to me, that my checks every single Tuesday, I would rather earn my residual income than any bonus, because my residual income pays, and I've earned a lot of bonuses. Okay. And my residual income pays me more than any bonus ever has. Okay, I'm going to say that again. My residual income pays me more than any bonus ever has. All right. And I need you to know that that happens when you build it. That's that consistency. Residual income is built over 90 days. So on day 14, if you're like, I can't do this anymore. Okay, well, you don't have residual. So yeah, no wonder you can't do this anymore. You can't do nothing. You don't have residual. Where are you going to take that? The dollar section in Target? I mean, maybe, but you have to remember that if you're here to build, it's not just about that VIP period or that first 30 days. And on my team, I love when someone comes in and they come running in hot, right? They earn their VIPs, they go 4K, they go 12K. But what I'm more impressed with is what they do after their first 90 days, because it is really easy. And I use that word loosely because I don't really love the word easy, but it is really easy to come into something brand new and run. What isn't easy is to continue running when it's no longer brand new. But here's the thing. Why is it no longer brand new? Because your passion and your excitement behind it stopped making it brand new. I'm 5 years in and I still make excitement posts about our products. 5 years in and I still am in my stories talking about our VIP period like it's like I've never heard of it before. I am still making reels about how Thrive is unmatched in every sense of the word. I am still showing up excited about this opportunity, and more importantly, excited about these products. One thing I want to ask you guys on your restart journey, and then that's all I really have, unless you guys have questions for me, which I'm an open book, so ask away. But my biggest thing is, when was the last time you helped somebody on a Thrive transformation? When was the last time you helped somebody just be a thriver? And when was the last time you were a thriver? So many people want podcasts. So many people want like to know it. So many people want to be bloggers. So many people want, I don't know, to have the prettiest aesthetic pictures, or they have to have makeup on, or they're like, y'all, I literally woke up 39 minutes ago, no makeup, hair not brushed. Like I threw on a sweatshirt. Like y'all, just get on and do the things, because at the end of the day, I'm a thriver. I don't need a podcast. Do I have one? I mean, from 3 years ago when I thought I needed to do all the things, but the truth is I just wanted to be a thriver. So I stopped doing a podcast. I stopped doing my like to know it. I stopped doing my Amazon storefront. I stopped linking all the things in the world, thinking that people needed to want to shop from me. And instead, I just became a really fucking proud thriver. And I just want to thrive. And at the end of the day, I want to help other people thrive. So when was the last time you helped somebody with the Thrive transformation? When was the last time you had a customer or a sample person be a day one thriver and be so excited? And if you can't say it was yesterday or Monday, anytime from now and from Monday, if you can't say it was then, you need to go find some new thrivers. Get people on Thrive. That's all it is. Get the Thrive in their hands and you'll never have to sell anything a day in your life. I don't convince anybody and I don't sell anything. I let them try my vitamins and the vitamins do the rest. That's it. I just have a link. So that's what I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions about restarting or anything that I can help with? Let me know. If not, I pass it back to y'all.
So my mom did have to hop
Go
off.
ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Does somebody have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I follow you. You're amazing. as far as your posts, I try to do it, but I can't do it. So I just do what I can. But anyway, you said that I got somebody yesterday, first time in 9 years, that signed up as a sampler, from my link. But I don't know, and I have to approve it. Do you approve? I know you have that link where everybody signs in. Do you just let them go even if they don't talk to you or anything?
No. So, well, yes, but no. So I text I have a sample system that I run through that I can just tell you real quick what it is. So I use my sample link, like I'm Oprah, like you get a car, you get a car, you get Thrive, you get Thrive, you get Thrive. They want to thrive. They want to try Thrive. They're trying Thrive. All right. But here's the thing. I am also not just sending it to anybody and everybody. They have to have a customer account underneath me. So I create them a customer account first. If their email is in use, then I contact support and I ask if it's able to be released. And if it is, that means that it was just a free account that they never have a sample, they never had an order, and someone just took their email and created them a free account, and support will release those. They're not holding those hostage. But support will also tell you if they're already a Thriver or they've already had a sample, and then I don't send it to them. I'm not in the business of taking anybody's customers or anybody's potentials. I will find my own that I don't tell people. I know some people will say, just get a different email. No, that's not compliant. Do not get a different email for them. Contact support and ask them. So I create them a customer account. And then from there, I send them a text. And I just say, hey, it's Lindsey Coggin. I got your Thrive sample request. Were you still interested in that? I'll get it sent out ASAP. Also, I created you a customer account. Your username is your email. Password is whatever I made their password. Normally their first name, 1, 2, 3, something simple. Because they can go in and change that if they want. And then once they message me back and they say, yes, I want to try it, then I approve it. And I have, I know that after I created this, a ton of different options of it were flying around, but I created a playbook last year for my team. If you follow me on social media, you probably saw it, but one of the things on there is a sample tracker. And so I write their name and I track their progress. So I put their name, I put customer account, sample sent, a text, sample received, how to use, follow up, and order. And so I check off. So this is kind of my system for staying organized with my sample customers. So I put their name. Once I send them a text, I check it off. Once I create their customer account, I check it off. Once I know it's been received, I check it off and I follow up with them. But here's the thing about samples. The beauty of samples is you have to follow up because the sale is in the follow-up and you can't be afraid to ask for the sale. What do I mean by asking for the sale? If they're on day 3 of their sample, because I text them day 1, day 2, day 3. On day 3, if they still haven't said they want to order, I say, hey, let me know. Did you want to snag your month supply so you aren't without your Thrive for too long? Don't be afraid to ask for a sale. If somebody is constantly messaging you saying they want to try Thrive, you ready to snag your Thrive? Like, I am just very upfront because here's the thing. I don't message anybody first. I don't do reach outs personally. I don't do cold messaging or anything like that personally. I know other leaders do, and they train that, and that's to each their own. But for me, I ask for the sale because every single person that has ever messaged me or I've had a conversation with about Thrive has come to me first. Therefore, you message me, you want it or what? I'm that type of personality.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I saw, how do I grow my network? Reels help a lot to grow my network. A lot. I do 3-2-1s. I follow people and then I do 3-2-1s on them. A 3-2-1 is 3 likes, 3 pictures that I like, 2 comments on pictures, and 1 story interaction. And for me, I love to do that. So that helps a lot with growing my network because it puts my face in their feed. I think there's a sample tracker in the back office now as well. Oh yeah, maybe. I think there was one shared. I want to say Jamie shared one at Palooza last year. That's where I got the idea from, was Palooza of last year. So if y'all aren't going to Palooza, you should go to Palooza because there are a lot of good information shared there. I formed my playbook, a lot of the stuff was off of things that were shared at Palooza last year.
So I would like to ask you, in reference to the 3, 2, 1, how exactly are you, how can I say this? Are you finding people to interact with? Do you do a hashtag search, or?
I interact with people that view my stuff. So I use my story views. So people who view my stories, it also helps me see if I'm following somebody that's a thriver. I try not to follow thrivers, not because I don't love y'all and because I don't love to see y'all stuff, but my social media is strictly to work. If I was not a thriver and not working in network marketing, I would honestly delete all social media. Like and it's so funny, right? Because I build completely on social media, but I honestly would never have a social media account. So like when I was a nurse, never used social media. So for me, I only really have people on my social media that are my personal leaders, people that I have connections with, like as far as thrivers, that we learn from each other and bounce ideas off of each other. But other than that, I don't just follow other thrivers because, again, they're not your potentials. You're not going to re-enroll them. That's non-compliant. So for me, I will go into like my story views, and I'll go down and I'll do 3, 2, 1s on people from there. If they're non-thrivers, I'll go into people that have liked my reels or people that like my content. And if they're non-thrivers, I do 3, 2, 1s on them. I also will, people that I've recently followed, and I find people to follow through all different ways, through the explore page, through the reels thing. If I like their reel, I'll follow them, through stuff like that. I just go through and will follow people, and you can use hashtags. I'm not a huge hashtag person. I don't personally use them. And I don't really search them, but I know that they've helped a lot. For some people, I know Brock mentioned that also on the last trading, that hashtags aren't really a thing right now, but some people are still using them. So if that's how you find people to follow, then absolutely. But doing those 3, 2, 1s on them gets your face into not only their notifications, but their inbox. So they're going to go look at your page. But here's the thing, you can do all the 3, 2, 1s and all the interactions in the world. But if your page does not tell somebody that what you offer, they'll never ask you about Thrive because they don't know. So that's why you have to be in your stories. I use my stories to sell. I use my content to pull people in. That's kind of my like rule of thumb for social media. I hope that helped answer that a little bit.
It did. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And I just want to bother you with one more thing. Well, it's not really a question, but just a suggestion or something for you to think about. Your stories are incredible. I'm pretty sure you used Canva. If you ever have a free moment with I know with life, mom of 2, you probably are very scarce with those, but potentially making a how-to with Canva, because I can't tell you.
I have a bunch of Canva how-tos, but I do them in my boot camps for my downline. Honestly, yeah, I know. I have everyone. They're like, can you do a Canva training? And I'm like, just get on YouTube. Honestly, the way that I learned, and I know it's probably not the answer that y'all wanted, but the way that I learned was I got in Canva and I started failing at it really, really bad. I got into it and I started clicking things and I started using different features and I started playing around with it. And even now to this day, I learn new things of how to use it, but just playing around with it, because I can show you how to do things, but then you're only ever going they have tutorials all over the place, but you're only ever going to know how to do what I teach you then. And I'm always learning new things in there, because even yesterday I was making some new graphics for my boot camp, and I learned something new and I put it on a graphic that I made for them. So you have to remember that it's always changing and you're always going to be learning if you are always doing it. So I have how-tos and tutorials and stuff. Unfortunately, they're just not public right now.
Perfect. I understand that completely. I do tell people, like, listen, just go in there and play around, because experience is the best teacher. But thank you so much, Lindsey. Again, we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to pour into our team. And you're just incredible. Can't wait to meet you at Palooza one day.
Yes, we'll see you guys. If you are going to Miami, I will see you guys next month. If you are going to Palooza, I will see y'all in Colorado. Rob Paxton and I are making the trek to Colorado.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.